Hungry, hungry. Would you look at that? Today we're going to be looking at the Eken H9 action camera. I'm going to give you my first impressions and just some thoughts that I have with this camera, but I know some of you are just here to see the video and audio test. So if that's what you're after, go ahead and click the play button on the screen right now. Alright, so let's dive into this little camera and see what we're working with. First off, I'm not going to go over the individual specs. I'll show you a picture of them right now and you can freeze the video and take your time reading them because they are lovely. Alright, now, first off, I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed with this camera when it comes to the 4K option. It says that it can videotape in 4K, but it can only videotape in 15 frames per second. So let's just say your action shots, which you're probably going to be videotaping if you have an action camera, are going to be pretty dang choppy. But if you push that aside and you're just getting this camera for high quality HD 60 frames, 30 frames, it's got you covered in that category. Now, I have to point out, one of the main driving points for this camera for me was that it came with the remote. But what they don't tell you is that that remote only works if the camera is already turned on. So if you guys are looking to get this camera in hopes of being able to turn the camera on when the action starts, then hit record, you're going to be disappointed. But with that being said, the camera comes with all sorts of amazing connection options. And a plus side to this as well is that it works with its counter competitor, the GoPro's connectors as well. So if you already have a GoPro and you have all the connection pieces, well, this camera is going to work with every single one of them. My initial thoughts on the construction of the body of the camera is very well made. The only problem that I see with this is the latch that holds the battery in. It seems a little fragile to me, and I don't know, we'll see after I use it a lot, but I'm just afraid that that little thing's gonna break. One thing that I noticed as well is that when the camera is in the housing, it seems to get like a little fog edges around the corners and stuff like that. It could be due to the heat, but that is something that I've noticed as well. But other than that, the body, the housing, and everything else is really solid and really well made. Another thing that this camera really impressed me on is the audio. With these little action cameras, 9 times out of 10, the audio is pretty bad. Now don't get me wrong, when this camera is in the case, it's pretty much just like the GoPro. The audio is basically unusable. But when it's outside the case, unlike the GoPros that I've had, the audio is actually quite well and you can use it. Now I'm not saying that you're going to have professional studio audio out of this, but it'll get the job done if you don't have any other external mic or something like that. So to sum up my first impressions on this little action camera is that I'm very impressed and I cannot wait to test this and further dive into this camera. Now remember that this is the first impressions, not a review, so after I spend a lot of time with this camera, I will be doing a review. So with all that being said, I'm now going to leave you guys with some video and audio tests from this camera that you guys can see how it works and hear how the audio works and all that good stuff. I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Test 1, 1080p. Outside of the housing, you can get an idea for the audio. This is with the sun behind the camera, you know, the way it should be done. You see how it looks, and this is when I turn towards the sun. Well, with the camera, sun's now behind me. I noticed earlier it gets like a little lens flare right here, so you can see that. But this is 1080p without the housing. So let's put the housing on and let's see what happens. This is going to be inside, low lighting test, outside of the housing, 1080p. So let's just do a little zoom around here. See how it focuses the light. See how it deals with the dark situation. I'll even take you around the corner into underneath the stairs where it gets really dark. Hopefully you cannot see all the kids' laundry that has fallen underneath the steps. Same indoor test, now inside of the housing. We'll do a pan around, see how it tracks the lighting. Again, we are in a basement with no lights on. There is a window right there with no lights on. And I'll take you again around the corner to underneath the staircase where my kids have managed to drop a lot of clothes. So here we go, camera outside of the housing. We're going to see how it does with exposure going from solid black, focusing in on the light, and we'll see how quick it can do that, and if it can do it, and we'll see what it looks like. See you in a minute, fellas. Alright, now we're going to do outside of the housing close-up and see how that looks.
Hey guys, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you get a chance, go check out our website at www.hambrosoutdoors.com.